Today's discussion is entitled Vulnerability versus Emotionalness. This is something that is really needed to be talked about because these two things get interchanged a lot. People use them interchangeably and they are two very distinct things. Those of you who are watching on the replay on YouTube, please comment replay. Those of you who are watching live, let me know the city and state that you are watching from, and I will shout out as many of you as I can. You probably know the drill by now. You can fast forward a couple of seconds if you are watching on the replay. Those of you watching live, welcome, welcome, welcome. I really need men especially to hear this. Women, you're welcome to eavesdrop and listen in, but men really need to hear this because I think it will be really helpful for your emotional health. We got New Jersey in the house. We got Northern Virginia in the house. We got Atlanta in the house. Ooh, I'm excited to come to Atlanta next month. So we're going to get started, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Share with a friend if you think that they will benefit. I want to talk to you about the difference between vulnerability and emotionalness. So let's start at the very beginning with the definition of vulnerability. Vulnerability is essentially taking away the veil, the curtain. We as people, we are privy to our own thoughts, our own feelings. And the only way someone else knows exactly what's going on in your mind is if you express. If you express yourself. I could be feeling anger right now. I could be feeling fear. I could be feeling excitement. You have no idea what it is exactly that I'm feeling unless I express. So vulnerability would be the equivalent of getting naked physically. Vulnerability is getting naked emotionally. I am simply saying, I am going to allow you, outside person, to have access to what is happening inside my mind. What is only privy to me until I open my mouth and express, I am going to voluntarily let you have access. I'm going to let you behind the closed door. I'm going to let you have a backstage pass. I'm going to let you get a peek inside what's happening in my mind. That is vulnerability, and it's healthy. That is a neutral thing. Emotionalness, which is what we are contrasting to vulnerability, emotionalness is when emotions control you. If you guys have been following me for a while, you've heard my story where I said, when I was at a place, I felt like I was losing control. I felt like I was on an ocean, and it was an ocean not of water, but an ocean of emotions. And I was being tossed like I was out at sea in a storm. There is nothing fun about feeling like you are a victim to your emotions. If your emotions go up, you're up. If your emotions go down, you're down. Just, I can't help it, I'm emotional. Those are emotions. Okay? And if you are emotional, you are going with these emotions. Okay? So there's behavior, feelings, you don't have a lot of choice in the matter. Now let's go back and contrast. Vulnerability. Vulnerability is a conscientious decision. I am choosing to pull the garage door up and let you see everything that's in my garage. I'm going to let you pull back the curtain. I'm going to pull back the curtain and let you see what's inside. It is something that you consciously are making a choice to do. Okay? And when you consciously make a choice to let someone behind the curtain, it should be seen as an honor. Okay? Because that person did not have to let you in. Hey, welcome, friend. Let me know if you want to join this one. So it should be an honor to be let in. Now, the unfortunate thing is, and again, I always have to explain all four quadrants, right? There's always there's the healthy, there's the unhealthy, and then the reactions to both. And people tend to see something unhealthy and just shut down. So I have to explain to people what all the reactions are. You can have a healthy action and an unhealthy partner who punishes you for taking the healthy action. Okay? So that's the first scenario. Thank you, Kutina. I really appreciate that. So you have a healthy person doing a healthy action, and you have an unhealthy partner who punishes the healthy partner for taking the healthy action. This is what made me do the video that said, don't change your MO, get rid of your unhealthy partner. It says, don't change your MO, change your partner. So again, for the third time, healthy partner exhibiting healthy behaviors, but he or she is paired with an unhealthy partner who punishes him. So one scenario is that healthy partner goes, oh, learn my lesson, never doing this again. And that healthy partner goes from being healthy and now moves over into the unhealthy category. Now you have the unhealthy partner who we started out with, and now the newly unhealthy partner. That is not the way to go. Okay? Now, you can have an unhealthy partner doing unhealthy things, and then you have an unhealthy partner who doesn't challenge them or correct them, and now you have a condoning thing, and then that's the other flip side. It's very important that you need to understand if the behavior itself is healthy or unhealthy, and if the partner is unhealthy or healthy. Okay? Because this is where so many people get confused. Thank you, Yogi Life. You're always buying badges. Thank you. People who do healthy behavior oftentimes abandon the healthy lifestyle because they've encountered unhealthy people who don't understand. That's like me making the most gourmet meal and serving it to 3-year-olds who are like, ugh, this is disgusting. And I have cordon bleus training. I've spent summers in Paris perfecting my culinary skills. And because a 3-year-old goes, ew, and spits it out, I'm like, oh my God, I should abandon this. I should go back to making PB&J. No. Your culinary skills were perfection. You just needed someone with a what is it? What kind of palate? A sophisticated palate. Okay? So go with me. Am I losing you so far? So far we have described the difference between vulnerability and emotionalness. Okay? So this is what society says, and I'm going to just reference my notes over here. Men are told from a young age, don't show emotions. Men don't show emotions. You got to man up. Oh, that bothered you? Man up. AKA shut up. Man up means shut up. Stop feeling, start doing. What else are they told? Real men don't cry. Okay, well, if they don't cry, then what do they do? Those emotions don't magically disappear. Emotions are not like water that just evaporate into the universe. Oh, they go somewhere. You guys know matter doesn't ever go away. It just changes form. So emotions, they need to be, it's energy. It's energy that needs to come out. It's going to come out somewhere. And guess where it usually comes out for men? Football field. Wrestling. If you're out in the streets fighting, okay, maybe he channels a little more and he does mixed martial arts or whatever, but it's got to go somewhere. So most men who are masculine, who are taught to be masculine, and there's nothing wrong with this, okay? You're taught to be masculine. You have to get that out some kind of way. That energy is going to be there. It needs to come out. It needs to come out. Well, let's get it out some way. And so most people put their boys in sports. They show them ways to get that energy out. With a woman, when she's feeling all this stuff, this energy is bubbling up in her, what do we say to the woman? We say, talk about it. Let's talk about it. What's wrong, baby? What's wrong, love? Let's sit down and talk. Oh, that hurts your feelings. They're there. And we guide a woman and we show a woman how to express. Now, it's important to note this, that some women are not taught how to control their emotions. They are only taught to express. So they express and they express and they express and they express, but there's nothing productive that's happening. They're just getting themselves agitated and agitated and agitated. As women, we also need to have balance. We also need to be logical, even though we are emotional. We have to be able to work through our emotions, because if we are in a crisis situation and we're over here, that we're going to be the first ones dead. So we still need to balance. If you are taught it's okay to express, you still need to be able to know how to control yourself in those moments. Now, if you have a tragedy, someone you love dies, what have you, you need a moment where you fall apart. I tell my clients, have an organized meltdown. Have a scheduled meltdown, okay? At 6 o'clock today, all my responsibilities are taken care of, kids are okay, and have a meltdown. Like they have those rage rooms, whatever those are called. You can go and break rooms. You can go break things. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to play a whole CD full of sad music, whatever it's okay to just purge and get it out. I feel so good when I cry. It's physically proven toxins released from your body when you cry. But there's a point you have to stop crying and get on with your life. I don't want to go too more into detail, but I just want to express that just because you're expressing does not mean it's healthy. So you can have an unhealthy expression. You can have an unhealthy holding back, suppression. So expression, suppression. Okay. So here's the thing that women need to understand. And I'm going to say this really quickly for all the new people to my page, or those people who haven't gotten the memo before. Somebody made a comment on a video that I did yesterday, which, by the way, guys, it is going wild thanks to the recommendation by R.C. Blakes. Shout out to R.C. Blakes, Pastor R.C. Blakes. It's got over 10,000 views in a single day, and I've been getting amazing feedback. So I suggest you guys go watch that if you're enjoying this video. I know you'll love that one. But somebody commented on that post, and she said, I just feel like there's so much content telling women do this and do this and do this and do this and try to get a man. And I asked her, did you even watch the video? Because my title is The Way to a Man's Heart. So I thought she might have just seen the title and just, went off on that, okay? But the thing is that as women who are heterosexual, we want to get men. So if this was a marketing situation, our ideal client is a man. If you're talking about a heterosexual man, the ideal client is a woman. So in marketing, if you're trying to get the client, you're getting the client to buy your product or service, you have to know your client. Because this isn't, barbaric times. You're not clubbing people over the head and dragging them back to caves. You kind of need them to be a willing participant. So you would look silly going to the altar and there's nobody standing next to you. You need the person to come with you. If you're a woman, you need the man to propose. If you're a man, you need the woman to want to say yes to your proposal. So when women get confused as to why I spend so much time talking about what the man needs, as opposed to only talking about what she needs, that's self-help. There's a place for that, yes. Well, honey, if you're straight, if you're into men, kind of need to know about men. Not to compare men to pets or women to pets, but I would hope that if you decide you want a hamster, you wouldn't just go to the pet store and grab a hamster without asking some questions, doing a little research. What do they eat? How much space do they need? What kind of a cage do they need? What kind of conditions? What's too hot? What's too cold? How much air do they need? Should they be in the sunshine? I would hope you wouldn't just go, oh, hamsters are cute. Let's make sure you're qualified to take care of one, right? But at least with a hamster, they don't have a choice. You just go get you a hamster. That's what you want. Go get you a hamster. You can't go get a man. You'll wind up in jail. I don't know how you have to, I guess, drug them and stuff. How you carry them. They're usually bigger than us. But you get what I'm saying, okay? So if you want a consenting partner, you got to figure out how to attract a man. And usually women don't have trouble attracting a man. I'm just saying the way God made women. But after you attract him, can you retain him? So I could be cute from across the room. Hey. And then the minute I open my mouth, he's like, oh, dip. Oh. Okay, ladies, you've been there. He's fine. You swipe right. Those muscles. He's got the nice teeth. Subject verb agreement. But you get the phone with him and you're like, ooh, should have kept your mouth shut, bruh. Okay? So even though we can attract, which makes a lot of women think they can pop their collar. Oh, I attract a lot. You attract a lot, honey, but what's your retention score? Ooh, you attracted 100. How many are you retaining? 2%. Oh, attraction ain't everything. And physical attraction, you got a window on that. So your waist, like I was a size 2, okay? When I was in my 20s, I was a size 2. I had it together, all the way together. That didn't last, okay? That didn't last. My metabolism did not keep up, okay? Didn't help the other things that happened along the way. But I'm just saying, if you're counting 100% on your looks, there is an expiration date. But even if you are relying on your looks, once you get the guy to approach the bench, once you get the guy to come to you, you still got to talk to him. And you might be able to keep it up for a little bit. You might even be so good you get him to marry you. But if you haven't understood a man and you haven't gotten certain things worked out, he's going to quickly marry you because he's excited to have you. And then he's going to go, oh, God, what's the return policy? And if he's a noble man, he doesn't divorce you, but he's going to distance himself from you. And he is going to be, y'all are sleeping in the same bed, but he may as well be 3 states away. Y'all know what that's like. When a man shuts down, goodbye. Goodbye. Y'all are ships passing in the night. I'm on a tangent, but I just wanted to express for the young lady who expressed it, because I'm sure she's not the only person who thinks that. Why do we care about what men think? The same reason you should hope to heck that they care about what you think. Okay? Let me get back to my sermon. Women, we need to be sensitive. Okay? And chances are, if you're watching my content, you probably are aware of this, that you need to be sensitive to a man. Is it because he's so sensitive? I used to say I think men are more sensitive than women, but this is what I realized. I actually don't think they are more sensitive than us. I think that they just combust because they don't let it out, don't let it out, don't let it out, don't let it out. And my God, when it does come out, whoa, they're backed up. So we feel like you doing a whole lot, sir. You gave us a 20 reaction to what was like a 2 or 3 situation. No, he was backed up for about 13 years and his lid just popped. So I don't think that they are more emotional than us as far as possessing more emotions going through their body than go through our body. It's that we just don't get backed up because every emotion we feel, we pretty much express. I'm happy. Oh, I'm sad. We're kind of like Tourette's with our feelings, right? We say it all, express it all. We move forward. But the guy, he's not expressing. And do you know why he doesn't express? So before you shame the man, well, he should just express, we should start raising boys differently. No. Oh, no. Men have to keep that lid on. Men must keep that lid on. Why? Because emotions don't serve them. What do you see men say all the time? Facts over feelings, facts over feelings, facts over feelings. So before we throw stones, before we throw shade, no one making comments or throwing shades. I don't want the one person who comments to think I'm saying that. I'm saying before we throw shade, we need men to be able to have facts over feelings, because guess what? When a man is in a military situation, he might be in a situation where option A, 1 guy is going to die out of 10, and option B is 9 guys are going to die out of 10. And for a woman, we struggle to get past that. Well, option A, 1 guy's still going to die. And it's not that the guy doesn't care that the 1 guy's going to die in option A. It's that he's able to go logically, 9 guys dying is worse than 1 guy dying. And so even though I know Bob's family, but Bob's going to take an L. Okay? Those are horrible conditions to have to be placed in. But if you know anything about war is just nothing but sucky situations. And ideally, yes, nobody would get killed, but sometimes there are situations where it's the best case scenario. What situation will the least people suffer? So trust me, we don't want men to be emotional, because a lot of these jobs require men to be just almost blind to emotions. Firefighters, like you have to be some kind of creature to choose. Like, I'm going to make a career of choosing to run into fiery buildings, or making a career of being in a job that requires a bulletproof vest. Like, you got to be some kind of special to choose that. Well, guess what? The part of the man's nature says, hey, if I don't do it, we're not going to be in a good place. So I don't feel like being a firefighter. I don't feel like being in law enforcement. I don't feel like signing up for the military. But what's the alternative? That's logic, right? So in that sense, we praise the man, Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. He didn't even think twice. There was a bump in the night and he just went to the door and did what he needed to do. So we cannot get mad at the guys, okay? So I just explained two extremes. Here's the healthy balance. When a man is with a woman that he thinks he should be able to trust, she should be that outlet for him. If there's no one else in the world he can talk to, she should be his confidant. Now, the reason why I started this video by explaining the difference between vulnerability and emotionalness is because when people are champions for vulnerability and they encourage people to be vulnerable, men to be vulnerable, here comes a guy in the comments, we don't need a crybaby, man up, all these little comments, right? Because somebody chooses to lower the door and expose everything that they're feeling inside, that is a position of strength. I chose to let that guard down. I chose to slide that curtain open. I chose to express. That is a choice. Emotionalness that I described is something taking over you. Masculine is about being in control. I'm controlling. I'm not allowing my emotions to control me. So if a man says, babe, I really did not appreciate what happened yesterday. It made me feel disrespected. And in the future, moving forward, I would appreciate you not doing XYZ. Does that look like he's being a crybaby? Does that look like he's in the fetal position, sucking his thumb, tears running down his face? Emotions can be expressed through words, and it does not mean that the emotions are controlling you. It actually takes more courage, more self-control to feel the feelings and express them in a calm and what is the word? It's productive way, okay? It takes a lot to be able to express them. It's easy to do what is considered masculine emotions, which are the okay emotions. You're allowed to get angry and you're allowed to get, what are you allowed to get? I think that's the only option on the menu, right? I think angry or really angry. I think those are your two options as men. Constructive, thank you. So you get angry, really angry, super angry, pissed, wrath. Like those are your 5 emotions you're allowed as a man. So if you express those emotions, those are actually less control. It's easy to act angry. That takes no self-control. That's actually not being in control. When you go into like blowing your fuse and screaming and punching walls and you know, whatever men do in their anger. It takes a lot more strength, instead of getting angry at the disrespect, to demonstrate your frustration, your disappointment, your hurt, your pain. Babe, I'm supposed to be your man. I'm supposed to be your best friend. I'm supposed to be your buddy, your leader, your man. And the way you spoke to me yesterday in front of the kids, it just, it hurt. That's not what I would expect from my wife. That hurt. That is powerful. That is strength. That is masculine. It's about having a healthy balance. Now, let's flip it, okay? And let's say your kids are in danger, your wife is in danger, and you're fighting off a bad guy. And the bad guy's like really twisting your arm. Probably not the time to express your feelings. This is really hurting. Gosh, it's really uncomfortable. I already have a bad back and the bad guy's twisting. Like, you pick and choose when you're going to express. Okay. Like a mom picks and chooses. She's not going to express when she sees what we're going to loosely call artwork from her child. Oh, this is, we have to choose how we express. Okay. So as women, we need to stop looking at men as superheroes. On the one hand, they need to be seen as a superhero because they are, okay? They need to, or I should say this way, we need to look at men as heroes and not superheroes. A hero is somebody that we respect, we adore, we praise, we celebrate. A superhero is someone who is not human. A superhero is somebody who bullets do not penetrate. Nothing gets to them. And if we look at a man as a superhero and not just a hero, we can put upon him an unrealistic expectation. We can undervalue his abilities. Well, you're a superhero, so duh, that's what you're supposed to do. But if you see him as a mortal who acts heroic, we can give him the respect that he is due, but we also give him the grace to be fallible. He's human. He's allowed to mess up. If you really saw a man in his private time, I think you would actually be shocked, because all day long he has to walk around presenting like he has it all together. Always. You don't want to be on a plane with a pilot who's on the mic. Oh God, this is a storm like I've never seen before. I'm really scared, guys, but I'm going to do my best to land. No. Who wants to hear that? Right? You don't want to be somewhere in a rescue situation where like you're having this natural disaster and everyone's like, oh God, we have no idea what we're doing, but come on guys, get into our bus. Like, what? Men have to constantly keep the stoic face. They always have to seem like they have it together. They always have to see like they know all the answers. They always have to have a poker face, because one misstep, they could be dead. It could be their life. It could be their livelihood. They have to always be on. And so when men say, all I want from a woman is my peace, when he goes home, that's his time to unbutton that shirt, unbutton that top button, just let it. It's like us taking our Spanx off, right? All day long, we're buttoned up, and then we come home and just, can we just put our hair up in a ponytail and take the Spanx off, take the high heels off? Emotionally, a man wants to be able to, fellas, am I lying? Okay? And I get this thing too. I get women say, oh, you're a woman. What do you know about men? I always ask the men for a cosign. Look, call me out if I'm lying. Call me out if I'm lying, because this comes straight from the horse's mouth. And I'm just regurgitating and putting girliness on it so women can understand it. Okay? I am not making this up. This did not come from a female coalition where we just what did the Council of Women say today? No, this is coming straight from men. Okay, so you guys who are watching live, you can see the men are saying this is real. This is real talk. This is the truth. Okay, so don't use my gender as an excuse to dismiss what I'm saying. This is coming from the horse's mouth. I get so many men DMing me saying you have no idea. You have no idea how good it feels to have someone speak for us. Okay, and all this, well, are you married? And first of all, I talk about my situation all the time, so if you paid attention, you would hear it. But let me not be sassy. I'm working on my sassiness. No more sassy, Yonsei. But people will get so caught up on the vessel and not ask men, is she speaking truth? Is she speaking correctly? Okay, I want women to understand. I've made every mistake of the book when it comes to men. I don't want someone else making my mistake, because I already made it. I already checked it off for us, all of us. So let's not make my mistake. So I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be able to tell you what I messed up on and what I've realized was the right way to course correct. Okay, he said preaching today. So I'm just trying to check, I'm trying to see. Yogi Life says, a man just wants to come home to some peace and quiet. I'm just saying. So where were we in my notes? So women need to treat men as heroes and not superheroes. Okay. When men are under this pressure, always having to keep it together, And ladies, let me just make a little side note, okay? If all else fails, a lot of times a woman can go home to daddy, okay, if you have daddy, or you can get married, okay? Depending on what you're willing to compromise on, you can pretty much find a man, might not be your dream man, but you can pretty much find a man to finance you. If you really just were like, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't take it anymore. Let me just give me a sugar daddy. There are lots of sugar daddies out there, okay? And I don't even mean creepy sugar daddies. I mean like men who will gladly take care of you. Men don't have that luxury. They need to figure it out. And even if their father did say they could come home, the stigma with moving home. So just that one piece alone adds so much pressure. It is make or break. Now, it's make or break for them. Now you add on to that a wife and kids. That is a pressure women just can't understand. You can try to think about it. I can try to think about it. But we will never fully grasp that understanding of it, the weight of it, because we do have the outlet. If we wanted to get married, we could get married. Okay, I've seen women all shapes, all sizes, all walks of life, all deformities, not deformities, tall, short. Women can get married, and if they find the guy, he will marry them and take care of them. Okay, so we gotta give these men a break. Men, on average, die younger. I think it was like 15 years younger than women. Okay, men die younger. Why do you think this happens? Duh. The pressure. There's a mind-body connection. When you're under a lot of pressure, you could be in great physical health, but all that stress over time, that's part of what the curse was in the garden. He said, the Bible said, Adam, you're gonna struggle the rest of your life. You're gonna toil. You're gonna toil to work for the rest of your life. Women, if we get into woman's curse, we're gonna be on a whole nother conversation. But a woman is gonna always try to be taking over a man. Okay, well. That'll preach, right? But let's not get into the woman's curse. Men also commit suicide more. They said women attempt to commit suicide at a high rate, but men actually, no pun intended, pull the trigger. Men actually kill themselves. Okay? So we need to be sensitive. All this gender war. Miss me with the gender war. The stats don't lie. Men are choosing to tap out at record numbers over women. So at the end of the day, enough with the gender war already. This is not a trauma competition. And they're losing. Okay? They are losing. Well, I should say technically it's going to be a winning if it's a competition. And who wants to win at that? When a man is precious enough and trusting enough to be vulnerable with us and show us what he is thinking. I'm under a lot of pressure, babe. I don't know if I'm going to keep this job. I don't know if I can keep working for this boss who is a douchebag. I don't know if I can deal with my dad who's pressuring me and comparing me to my brother. Whatever he opens up and tells you. Never, ever, ever, nunca, for my Spanish speakers, nunca, never weaponize his vulnerability. Don't even speak of it. It's all like the information he gives you should be going into a vault. You lock it, you throw the key, you don't keep a record. There's not even an index of what's in the vault. Never. You listen not to understand. I don't care if he sounds like wah, 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 wah. You better sit there and be, It's not your job to make it make sense. It's not your job for him to make it make sense. All he needs to do in that moment is express. I don't care if this man says, I can't figure out why 2 + 2 = 5. It's not your job to say, it's actually not, it's 4. No! Fail. Let him express. Let him get it off his chest. You are a free therapist in that situation, okay? And if he gets a therapist, awesome, okay? Because some women just really cannot. They just really can't see that side. Some women really cannot handle the truth. You say, you can't handle the truth. Some women can't. Really. Yes, I think my coworker's hot. Yeah, I think she has a nicer body than you. Yes, you look fat in that dress. Like, there's a lot of truth that most women can't handle. So be careful what you ask for, okay? Listen to understand. Don't listen to question or argue. Don't grill him. What about that? Well, did you do that? She is hot, but did you act? Just listen. Be a vault, okay? But never, ever, 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 ever weaponize his vulnerability. As I said on my other videos, you have one time to show him you're not trustworthy. One time. Because men are very logical, and when they choose to be emotional, it's a choice. And if he chose one time, oftentimes men will test you and you don't even know it's a test. You don't even know there was a test or that you failed. You don't know that you failed, but you didn't even know there was a test. But he will never forget. Never. So that's everything that I wanted to say. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the next 60 seconds because I'm going to be going off. I want to ask you, if you enjoy my content, God puts it on your heart, and you would like to contribute, you guys can send something through Cash App. I've been asking people lately, what is my Cash App information? And it's super cringy for me. But you know what? Mama's got to eat. So I'm going to actually post it here for those who wanted it. The last video I did that, and I was really shocked at the response that I got. It's really, really nice to see that people care enough to actually go that far. For everyone who bought a badge, including you, Yogi Life, and somebody else did too. I can't remember who the second person was. Thank you for buying the badge today. But I try really, really hard to speak up for those who don't have a voice. If you guys want to support me on a monthly basis, you can do so by joining Patreon. My link is in my bio, patreon.com/Yancy. The lowest tier is like $5 a month. It goes a long way. Daughter of Zion, thank you for the badge. Really, really appreciate that. These are the last announcements, little church announcements before we go. Please, 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 if you have not joined my email list, please do it. The very first reason, social media is not guaranteed tomorrow. You know, we say tomorrow's not promised. Social media is not promised. Anything could happen to social media and your entire access to me is gone. It has happened before in Facebook, and it's gone down one day on Instagram. That was like the scariest day, the 24 hours waiting for it to come back. So please, 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 if for no other reason but to have a link to me, please join my email list. Here are the other more specific reasons to join my email list. I let you know in my email all the big stuff that's coming up. So for example, I'm coming to Atlanta next week. Comment, I knew, if you knew I was coming to Atlanta. This is a perfect example. I'm going to show you how many people knew I was coming to Atlanta and how many people didn't, okay? Those on my email list received an email that I was coming to Atlanta with the dates, all that stuff. So if you are on my email list, you will know of big stuff that's coming up. And when you sign up for my list, you can choose the things you want to be notified of. The other thing is you will always know, if you choose to know, choose the drop down, you will know what the topic is for my Monday, my Monday night YouTube live stream. I love it. See, he knew. So the topic is coming up. If I have panelists coming on, you guys will get the first dibs to get on the panel. There's an event coming up, which I'm going to be emailing in the next couple of days, but I haven't done it yet. But I need men. I need a private panel of men, and I will get into it once I get the volunteers. But essentially, it's a feedback group or like a focus group. So you'll get information like that. And so all those important things will be coming through email. And of course, you can unsubscribe at any time if you need to. The last two things I would like to remind you of is that I have 2 books. They are in my online store, chasingyancy.com. And right now they're only $8. My coach thinks I'm crazy for having them. They're like 8 or 10. I don't know. He might have convinced me to put it up $2. But for right now, they're like either $8 or $10. So snatch them up while they're there. It's a man's guide to dating a man. It's a book for women. And I just interviewed a bunch of men, said, hey, what do you hate about first dates? What do you love about first dates? And all the stuff that kind of rose to the top, that was the common, the common consensus, I put it into a neat, handy dandy little guidebook. And then on the man's side, the book for men, it's why women love a-holes, not the body part, the bad boy. And I explain the psychology behind why unhealed women do enjoy the parts of the bad boy, which is masculine energy, but it's usually a toxic version. So I teach you the healthy version so you can have the same appeal. Okay. And last but not least, if you need coaching, I offer coaching for men and women. I've actually opened it up to men the last couple of months, and it has been so cool being able to help the men in the community, teach them everything they want to know about women. And I have also started doing marital coaching, marital counseling, essentially, but it's coaching for couples. And that is thrilling to see people learn how to communicate and bring that love back. So I think that's it for the church announcements. Thank you so much for joining in on my live stream. If you are unable to support me financially, the way you can support me in a really big way is to spread my message. Share a video with a friend, let somebody know about my platform, comment, forward, tag, whatever you can do, getting the word out there. My goal is not to be famous. I actually cringe at the idea of too many people knowing who I am because I'm very private, but I want this message out there. There are too many people spewing hate, too many men spewing hate about women and teaching men to go their own way. All women are trash, so you may as well just focus on money. And there are too many women who are toxic out there. All these men are trash. You better just get them for all the money you can get. Just use these men. I'm sick of it. And I'm going to die on this hill of love. We're dying on the love hill because I want to have a message that's going against the grain. All hope is not lost. We do not need to be at war. We need each other. And let's close by this. We're going to do a little kumbaya thing. Is that okay? For those of you who haven't left, it's like the people in the movie theater when the credits start coming up and everyone starts leaving and then they have like a little scene at the end. And it's like, oh, I'm glad I stayed. But everybody, whether you're watching the replay or watching it live, I want you to comment, I love, and if you're a man, you say woman. If you're a woman, say man. Because I want everyone to see how much love there still exists. You can either say, I love men, I'm not giving up on men. I love women, I'm not giving up on women. We need each other. And we need to remind each other because every day we're bombarded with messages that say, all hope is lost, give up hope. Everyone's toxic. Everyone's bad. The dating pool is pee in it. And we need to fight back. Okay? We need to fight back. I love this. I love women. Okay? You see? Let's speak that. We have to speak that truth. We have to not lose hope. We have to not lose hope. If not for ourselves, for our next generation. We have children who are looking up to us and trying to figure it out and vicariously learning through us. So if we don't get healed, I love it. I love men, she said. Look at that. We got 2 people speaking love. I love women. I'm not giving up on women. 3 people who are pledging their love and they're refusing to give up. I love this. Will all of you guys jump in? This is so important. And when we talk and we make comments that we don't say all, none, all these absolutes. We could say sometimes or some people or many people. But all this all talk, it poisons our brain and we have to be careful. Words have power. The power of life and death is in the tongue. So for the 3 of you who were bold enough to comment, I love, and then fill in the blank, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I enjoyed my time with you guys today. And I pray that until next time, you will tell someone that you love them. Like, actually, go tell them. And I hope it's super apparent just how much I love you.